For 40 years this July. My wife and I have only bought 2 brand new cars in our entire married life. One of them when I was in the Army 37, 8, 9 years ago, and one 7 years ago, which is the one I got driving out there. And other than that, I'm always buying used cars. Cheaper, normally got the kinks worked out of them, and just cheaper. Okay, there is an attachment to this you need to separate and put in your notebook. You're going to use it on this worksheet. You need to make sure you get the attachment and keep it. All right, so used cars again. On your study guide, they talked about the vehicle guides. Whenever car dealerships sell used vehicles, it goes for any vehicle, but when they sell used vehicles every month, they submit information about what they sold the car for, what the car had for options, what the condition of the car was. They sell it or send it into a used vehicle place, and they collect all that data and they publish them. The most common one most people know about is Kelley Blue Book. When I was your age, Kelley Blue Book was called Blue Book because it was a blue book. It was about yay big by about yay long. It's really, really thick with really thin pages. Now it's online. I'm sure they have a paper copy out there, but the one that most people use is online. Kelley Blue Book is a type, if you go in to buy a car, used car, that is what the banks use to determine what type of loan they will give you. If your buddy down the street is saying, I want to sell this car for $5,000, and Kelley Blue Book says it's worth $150 and a 6-pack of Coke, you're not getting a $5,000 loan for that car. Don't care what they're asking for. You're going to get what Kelley Blue Book says is worth, and probably not even that much. Probably about 80% of what Kelley Blue Book says is worth, is what the loan will come from a bank. You can get another part of loan, but it would not be a car loan. It may be a personal or signature loan, which is higher interest rate. So Kelley Blue Book is what you, when you want to get a car, look there and see what it costs on Kelley Blue Book, and that's the best option of what, if somebody's trying to stick you with the car or not. Okay, so the way they do this is, not every car is created equally. If you buy a car from up north, Chicago area, it probably does not have an air conditioner in that car, because 11 and a half months out of the year, it never gets above 75, 80 degrees up there. So why have an air conditioner that you're only going to use 3 or 4 weeks a year? So they don't normally have air conditioners for up north. Cars that you buy down here in the south, especially closer to the Gulf Coast, you got the salt air from the ocean. It will rot the paint out, rust out the paint, rust out the body. So everywhere where you buy a car from, depends on where you buy it from. Also, if I go and buy a car, let's just make up a car here, Toyota Corolla. If I get 3 Toyota Corollas, they're all the same age, but one was driven by the proverbial little old lady to Sunday for church, and another one was driven by a high school teenager who just drove the snot out of it. The one that was driven by the little old lady's got fewer miles, is in better shape. It's going to cost more than the other car, even though they're the same car, the same age. So you look at all this stuff for a car. The way this is going to work, again, you're going to take off the chart in the back. You're going to need this. This is the adds and drops. It's only got 2 cars listed on here. And if you look at the chart here on the back, at the top, it's got average retail value and average wholesale value. What's the difference between retail and wholesale? Anybody? What's wholesale? What's retail?
Retail because you sell it for yourself. Wholesale is what it actually costs.
Oh, no. But it's a good guess on it. No, wholesale is what dealers pay to buy the car because they buy in bulk. They're going to go to an auction and they'll buy 10, 15 cars, so they're going to get a cheaper price. Again, my dad, Wolverton Furniture, I asked him when I was probably younger than you, how come I can buy a table at, no, it's not mine anymore. There are no Wolvertons in Wolverton Furniture, okay? My dad died and that's the last Wolverton there, okay? But I asked him once, how come you could buy a table from Walmart, and I'm making the prices up, for $100 and you get the same table from Wolverton's for $200? He said, because Walmart buys in bulk. They got how many stores? 10,000 stores just in the United States, probably. They go in and they buy, I'd like 30,000 tables. They're going to get a lot cheaper than Wolverton Furniture, who buys like 3 tables. So dealers do that. They buy in bulk to get cheaper prices. That's wholesale, what they buy. What you buy is retail. They're going to charge you more because you're a single person buying. So what you have here at the top of the chart is a V6 and a V8 car. Now, what's V6 and V8 mean, guys? So we all know the same terminology. What's a V6 car? What's the difference between a V6 and a V8? Anybody? It's type of engine. V6 means you have what are called cylinders where you get the energy from. There's 6 cylinders, 3 per side, and they're laid out in a V. V8 is 8 cylinders laid out in a V. The more cylinders, the more power, the more gas. A V8 engine will flat, when you hit the accelerator on a V8 engine, your gas gauge will drop so fast you will see it dropping. If you get like a 4-cylinder car, which I think my little Spark is a 4-cylinder, that thing will run forever. Okay. I think I get 35, 40 miles a gallon on a highway. V8, you're lucky to get 15 miles a gallon on the highway. Okay. So the bigger the engine, the more it burns gas. So that's another thing you look at. Okay. So you got 2 types of car, a V6 and a V8. V8 will get worse gas miles, got more power probably. Average retail of that's your starting price. All V6 4-doors for this exercise start at the same price. Now you're going to start looking at the options that come on this car. If it says deduct, that means subtract. If it says add, that means add to the price. So if a car does not have air conditioner, I'm going to lower the price. I'm going to start with $15,500 on a V6. If it doesn't have air conditioner, I'm subtracting $850 from the price right there. I'm looking at the chart on the back. Okay. What is a manual transmission? It's stick, clutch, push the clutch. What's the joke everybody's putting on Facebook? Said the best way to get rid of your generation is write everything in cursive, analog clocks, and standard transmission cars. You guys will be dead in the water. Okay. My parents always said you need to learn to drive standard transmission. Even if you never drive one, you need to learn how to drive it. You'd be surprised how many times that's going to come in handy. Okay, so question number 1 on the front, and we're going to use the chart back here. So you got to flip back and forth. This might be a good idea to separate the charts. So you got it laid behind. So question number 1. You want to find the average price of a 4-year-old V6. So looking on the back. V6, what is the average retail value, the starting price? $15,500, right? That is the starting price. I'm starting there. Now, look at what it's got for options. It has an air conditioner. So on your adds and drop list, it says you only deduct if there's no air conditioner. So if there's an air conditioner, don't do anything. I'll add a placeholder. Air conditioner doesn't change. No change. Okay. They got power mirrors. On back here, the power mirrors are $250 more. So add $250. You get leather seats, and Lawton is not a good idea, especially in the summertime. But leather seats, add $240. Power sunroof, kind of cool to have, especially if you like to drive in the country. So the power sunroof is add $475. Problem with the sunroof is when they get older, they leak. So just keep that in mind.
120.
Aluminum wheels is plus 120. And then the last one is, it says it's been driven 42,510 miles. If you look at the bottom right on this chart, he's got a list of mileage. Okay, so 42,000 is in the first chart. I am deducting $175 from this because I've driven it over 40,000 miles. So I'm subtracting 175. Add, subtract, whatever. 15.5 plus 250 plus 240. Plus 250.
14.
Sounds about right. I don't have this stuff committed to memory, but let's see what we got here. But it sounds right. And 16, I got 16,465, 67. Did anybody get that, or did I get it? I messed up. This can't be that. We don't have we don't even nickels and dimes, so it can't be that dollar. I did something wrong, guys. Okay. Plus 250. Plus, yeah, so you gotta, that doesn't look right, so rechecking my math here. Minus 175. There you go, 16,410. That's what you got, right? Okay. So this is my starting here. This is what Blue Book says it should cost me. So if I go up to the job and look at all these things and they're offering me, hey, we're going to do $20,000, I'm going to say not happening, because the bank won't give me a loan for 20,000, guys. I'll be able to get a loan for maybe 16,014. Anything over that, personal loan, higher interest rate. Which, don't get me wrong, sometimes that's worth it. There's a car I've been wanting for my life. I've been wanting this car. This is my car. I may be willing to pay over and above. So just understand, this is not all. You got to look at all the areas. So that's basically the way it's going to go. Question number 3, I'm not going to go over it, but question number 3, it gives you 2 separate cars. So separate the cars. Okay. And then once you separate and get the final cost on both of them, you want which is cheaper and how much cheaper. And one of the cars is you're talking wholesale, and the other you're talking retail. So make sure you get the right price to the right one. And also one's a V8 and one's a V6. So make sure you get all the right selections. Okay, so other than that, that's all. Again, don't forget to take the chart and keep this. Do not turn it in. I'll be mean if you turn it in with it. I'll throw it in the trash and you won't have it for your notebook. So make sure you get it. If you got any questions, this is it for today, guys. Tomorrow, we're going to go over the Kelley Blue Book and the next section, probably the next 2 sections. Kelley Blue Book's not that long. So we'll do those tomorrow. And then there's 7 sections in this chapter, and this is 2 and 3, 4, 5 tomorrow. We will finish with the chapter on Monday, computer stuff Tuesday, test Wednesday, and we will also Monday, last thing, Monday I will talk about the notebook. I mentioned this the entire 6 weeks. We'll talk about what's required, and we'll start taking the notebook by Wednesday, because we'll have everything we're going to need by Wednesday. And we'll start taking it, and we're done Thursday. You guys got to do makeup stuff. The days will be available. But don't just show up suddenly out of nowhere. Say, here I am for makeup. You got to let me know you're coming in first. Because otherwise, I'm going on a party. It's going to take off. Not a lot, but you know. I'll be napping in my office and nobody will know, so I won't be here. All right, go for it. Got questions, ask.